Friko. It's review time. Where we've been, where we go from here. Hopping straight into it, the debut album from Chicago band's Friko is about as dramatic and as thrilling as you could imagine. From the heart of Chicago brings us the indie rock band trio called Friko, as it consists of 3 members, Nico Capitan, Luke Stamos, and Bailey Minzenberger. But this time around, we only get a duo debut LP job between the members Nico Capitan and Bailey Minzenberger. But even with limited hands at work, singer/guitarist Nico and drummer Bailey still do their best to put together a project of hectic, progressive noise rock that can easily draw a lot of emotion into its listeners. Moving over to drummer Bailey, she does a good job of setting up each song's progression. Because as some could argue, the key component to a great build-up in a track would be from the drums. Drums are the key instrument to representing emotion in a song. It's basically all in the patterns and how much force you choose to use in your song. Heavier, more abrasive taps can, lead to anger, while lighter, softer, slower taps can lead to happiness. Like the Beatles were more of an upbeat band who liked to use soft drumming as a tactic. And as most metal bands like to, give vigorous taps, meaning more on the anger side. But yeah, whether it's slow and lighthearted or strong and abrasive. But my point is, Bailey has a skill set of giving us both lighthearted and strong and angry. However, her skill set seems to be displayed much better on the track Crimson to Chrome, while Nico himself does a better job using his noise-powered guitar for the intro track. A 50-50 job between the two that's being used to create this frantic atmosphere throughout the album, which is why I believe that the path they're on is a good one. Working more towards pop in the 2019 demo tape, they've now crossed over to a totally new lane of noise indie rock, something like a My Bloody Valentine. It is a nice change of pace to hear the more rock-oriented aspect that they clearly know how to give us. As I've stated before, the songs do have a tendency to provoke feeling, whether from the use of its melancholy guitar strumming or its passionate build-ups given to us by our drummer. Each song does a great job of setting us into this unique atmosphere. It's a plausible job considering the prior work done before this LP and the fact that there's only 2 out of 3 members being used to work towards this album. Moving towards the track Chemical, while not being too much to dig into, it's a track that drags you straight into a non-stop wild atmosphere, almost reaching this point of like a punk energy. Just non-stop drum and guitar harassment. Chemical, 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 chemical. A lot of soul poured into the mic from Nico. And sure, there isn't much lyrical depth, but even then, the song does a good job of setting up a catchy atmosphere, catchy production, and just makes you want to thrash out. While on another note, there isn't too much to be said about the takeaway of this album, as there isn't exactly a full story behind the LP. It mainly consists of depressing lyricism and minor keynotes to do the heavy lifting at points. There could even be points where you get lost in the track due to similar structured songs. It even has its moments where some may find this LP to be a bit derivative of other casually echoey voiced rock/pop albums. And while being derivative can cause a head turn from most listeners, it's not like you're gonna go into this LP just totally hearing someone else's influence, thinking to yourself, oh, this is this artist, oh, this is this artist, because that's not the case here. You have to remember, it's their first step into this category, and so I still think that they deserve the time to still find their own original sound. You can't pinpoint who they sound like on this record. It's just not this new, improved, different sound that people are expecting. It's just their start. It's their start in the noise rock, progressive rock era. That's as much as I can say about that. You get what you get from each track. It's melancholy, it's dramatic, it's emotional, it's worth a try. And as the kids say, hopefully, I put you on.